So, how do I know what is my purpose? Is there a way to discover it? Does my purpose need to be something big and bold, or can it be something very small, say taking care of my family, for instance? Do I necessarily have to quit my job or quit what I am doing now to pursue my purpose? These are questions that have been doing the rounds in our minds for a while now. And these are exactly the questions that this course aims to address, which is why you should register for the course right now. This chapter, which is the second chapter, however, will address the first question. How do I know what is my purpose? Is there a way to discover it? The answer is yes, and that's exactly what we're going to see in today's class. So this is what I call as the circle of life. The modern urban society usually defines the quality of life and defines success based on these four factors. And let us call them pillars of life. The four factors are physical well-being, the quality of your relationships, which is social well-being, the quality of your career or job or business, which is your intellectual well-being, and your finances, that is your financial well-being. So if all the four pillars are strong enough, then you are considered to be successful by any standards. So this is usually the definition of success that the society has coined for us. And because we are all products of this modern society, our individual definitions of success and goals usually align with this. So typically, this is how our goal list would look. In fact, I had interviewed a few people before I went to making this course, and this was the answer that I got to the question, what is your goal in life? So let's take a look. So typically, the goals look like, I want to own a house in the next 2 years. I want to buy a bigger car. I want to get promoted from my role as a senior manager to a general manager in the next 3 years. In the next 3 months, I want to lose 10 kilos. I want to travel the world. And in this year, I want to travel at least 4 countries. By the end of this year, I should have at least so much amount in my bank balance. I plan to start my business and I would like to make a profit of 1 million in 1 year. I want to marry the man or woman of my dreams, and I hope to do that this year. So typically, this is how our goal list looks. And if you're here in this class, I'm sure you can identify with 1 or 2 of these goals as well. Now, there's nothing wrong with these goals. They are fantastic the way they are. However, the consciousness with which you achieve and approach these goals will determine how satisfied or dissatisfied you are in life. And that is the true measure of your success. The problem is that in pursuing your goals, you identify with 1 or more of these pillars. Your sense of who you are becomes attached to these pillars. For example, say you are a senior manager in a multinational corporation leading a team of 50 people. That is your role. However, when you start to pursue your goals that you've set for yourselves, you become identified with that role, and that begins to define who you are. And so if you're able to achieve your goals of, say, getting promoted to the next level, of commanding respect and recognition from your seniors, your colleagues, and your team members, and if basically everything at work is going the way you would like it to go, you will remain happy and contented. But the moment something goes wrong, or if something does not go the way you had wanted it to go, your happiness completely goes for a toss. The problem is that none of these factors are 100% in your control, which means that even despite your best efforts, there is only so much that you can do. The results and outcome depends on a lot of external situations, people, and circumstances. And if you're identified with these, then your happiness is also not in your control. And that puts you in the place of a victim, which is a dangerous position to be in. And the reason I say that is because it will perpetually keep you anxious, worried, and insecure. Look at the COVID-19 crisis that we're all facing today. One crisis has hit all 4 pillars for some people. They've lost their health, they've lost their money, they've lost their jobs, and in some cases, they've also lost their relationships. Now, what do? It feels like your life and your world has ended because you're so identified with these pillars. The second problem is, for those of you who are really lucky and you've been able to achieve all your goals as planned and everything in life is going as per your expectations, even when you've achieved all your goals, you always feel that sense of lack. Maybe you celebrate for a while and you feel happy, but that happiness is temporary. After a while, you start to feel that something is amiss. Even though I have a great job, I have great relationships, I have enough finances, I have good health, but there is something more that I need, and I really don't know what that is. This is a feeling that a lot of people who are successful are experiencing. So, what is the solution? The solution is to shift your identity to a place that is more permanent. Imagine all of these 4 pillars of your life were taken away. Say, for example, you fall sick, you lose some money in treatment, you lose your job, and maybe you also lose an important relationship in your life. So all of your 4 pillars shake. Will you still be alive? And if the answer is yes, that itself means that you are not these pillars. These pillars are great decorations. They are labels. They add value to your life. They make your life what it is. But you are far beyond and so much more than these pillars. They just form a very small aspect of your life. But you are that true unlimited potential and energy. See, what happens is when you're in a situation where all of these 4 pillars are shaken up, if I ask you what will happen to you, you might say that, oh my God, my life will finish. But it does not finish. Possibly you spend a few days, feeling depressed, mulling over it, crying. But then what do? Eventually you do get up. You start experimenting with new things, try new things out and get different results, which means the potential to explore new possibilities and new opportunities is within you. And that is who you are. You are that unlimited energy, that unlimited potential, which is so much beyond just these 4 limiting factors of your life. So when you identify with that unlimited potential, when your sense and awareness of who you are shifts from an external place to an internal place, something magical happens. Your focus shifts as well. So instead of asking, how do I get that promotion? How do I get that job? How do I buy that house for myself? You begin to focus on number 1, how do I use my skills and talents to make a true contribution? Whether it's in your place of work, whether it's in family, whether it's in the society or in the world. Your focus is on how do you use your abilities, your skills and talent to contribute? And how do you use your contribution to truly add value and make a difference to the lives of people around you? These become the 2 major areas of your focus. And when you're able to do both of that, that is to be able to contribute and then add value through your contribution, you experience joy. And joy is a beautiful state to be in. It is not quite the same as happiness. See, because happiness is usually like a compromise. I've heard so many people say that, well, yes, things are not quite okay. And, I would have liked things to be different, but it's okay. I'm happy. The whole tone in happiness is sometimes about compromising. Okay. And it's about trying to think positive even when you don't feel very positive. But the state of joy is like non-negotiable sense of happiness. When you experience joy, you feel innately driven, motivated, enthusiastic. happy, and you feel so fulfilled. And because you're in a joyful state when you're operating from this place, you are radiating so much positivity in every area of your life that you automatically attract the 4 pillars into your life. You attract good health, you attract finances, you attract relationships, and you attract the right job opportunity for you. And this is called an inside-out approach to living life. So much has been talked about inside-out approach, but essentially it means shifting, moving to a higher consciousness, shifting your identity to an internal place that is more permanent, and attracting these pillars of life to come to you rather than chasing it. As you've noticed, our focus has shifted from what can I get to what can I give. And now the $1 million question. So how do I shift my identity? How do I let go of what I have identified with for so long? And how do I really connect with that unlimited potential that I really am? Is there a method to do that? Yes, there is. And that is the basis for our framework to getting started on designing a purpose-driven life. The formula is your purpose in life depends on your sense of who you are. So if you think you're a mother, your purpose in life is to take care of your child. If you think you're a manager, your purpose in life is to achieve success at work. However, if you think that you are that unlimited potential energy, then your purpose in life is to give your best in everything that you do. And that is what makes all the difference. So if we have a systematic step-by-step approach to discovering our purpose and then following the path to that purpose, we will automatically be pointed towards our true selves and begin to identify with who we really are. So here's a little exercise that we will do that will help you get some clarity on what is your bigger purpose. What is your big why? Why are you here? That's the question that we plan to answer. So I would suggest you get a pen and a paper before you get started on this exercise. Have a glass of water, center yourself. This is going to be a highly reflective exercise. And you can do it as I am asking you to do. You could pause this video, take time, reflect, write your answers before you move to the next step. But in fact, I would also recommend that you create a separate journal for this course, because even though all of these videos will be accessible to you once you sign up for the course, it is always recommended that you make your own notes, because those will be your reference points for later as well, right? Okay, so let's get started. Center yourself and think of your life as a flowing river. Just rewind backwards and think of your life right from your childhood, as long as you can remember, maybe from the time you were 5 or 6 up until this point. Look at how your life has flown like a river. And look at all the high points in your life. The moments when you were really happy, when you really felt joyful, when you felt a sense of accomplishment, when you got validated, when you felt acknowledged, whatever a high point means to you. These are typically the waterfall points in your life. So I'd like you to rewind your life journey from your childhood up until this point and identify the high points in your life. So on your journal, on your piece of paper, just represent your life in 2 parallel lines as if it were a river, and mark all the high points in your life. Once you've done that, look at what were the biggest challenges, the dark moments in your life, and also mark those. So actually pause this video and take a good 20-25 minutes for this reflection and identify the high points and the challenges that you faced in your life. Okay, so once you've done that, I want you to take a close look at the river of your life and identify what are your key strengths. So what you've just identified in your River of Life exercise are pointers to your key strengths. So if you look at the high points in your life, and also if you look at the way you've handled challenges, that will give you insights into what are your key strengths. Strengths could be your skills as well as your personality traits as well as your values. Whatever you consider is your greatest strength. So identify your key strengths and write them down. And once you've done that, I would like you to identify 3 biggest lessons that you've learned in life so far. Pause this video while you write your answers. And this document that you've just created is going to be your reference for the remaining part of the exercise, right? So once you've done that, let's move forward. Turn your page, and now we are going to go about asking ourselves 3 very structured questions that will help us get some clarity of what is our purpose in life and how do we get started on that journey. So the first question you ask yourself is, imagine the end of your life. Because your life is compared to a river, at some point, the river lets go of its identity and it merges with the ocean or with the sea. So imagine that end point of your life and ask yourself this question honestly. What is the greatest impact that you want to leave this world with? Or what is the greatest difference that you want to make in the lives of people? That's the first question. And the second question is, who are those people whose lives you want to really impact? And to help you answer this question, you can also ask yourself, what are the causes that really matter to you? You might be passionate about many causes, but try and pick 2 or 3 real causes that truly matter to you, that are very close to your heart, and those are the causes where you feel that you really want to make an impact. So write those down. So as an example, let's say my answer to that question is that I want to help urban people, urban professionals lead a more fulfilled and purpose-driven life. That is really my answer to both those questions, right? So similarly, what is yours? Now, once you've identified your why, the next question is to ask, how do I get there? Now, here is where you need to map it with your strengths, your skills, your passions, your experiences. So look at all your strength areas that you've just identified in the previous activity and see which of these skills or which of these qualities or which of these strengths or passions would I really like to use in order to get to my purpose. So for example, my answer to that question is I would like to use my skills in facilitation, my interest in experiential learning, and my passion for public speaking, and I would like to use these 3 as mediums to get to my purpose. And once you've identified the how, the last question you ask yourself is, so what do I do as immediate next steps to get started on that journey? Identify that and write them down. And once you've done that, you actually have it all with you. You've identified what your purpose is, and you've identified how you want to get there, and you also have identified what do you need to do today in order to get started on that journey. Now, all that remains is to actually start taking action. Even if it is small baby steps that you decide to start taking, my recommendation is start acting on the what right now. Because the moment you start doing it, you have set yourself on the journey to designing, creating, and living a purpose-driven life. So this is a very solid and structured approach to discovering your purpose and aligning your path on that journey. You can actually pick this up right now, put it to use, and get started right away. However, there is a possibility that when you actually start doing it, hundreds of other questions will come up in your mind. For example, what if even after asking these questions, I still don't have clarity about my purpose? Can I still get started somewhere? What if my purpose keeps changing all the time? It was different a couple of years ago and it is different now. What if I have so many financial financial commitments that I just cannot think of anything beyond that. So all of these practical challenges will come in your way, and this entire course is structured to address those questions and to help you get started on this journey. Because this, my dear friends, is real. It is real, and you've got to do it to see the difference that it can make in your lives. And that's why I recommend very highly that you register for this course right now. I have identified 12 habits that you need to develop and the techniques that can help you develop those habits. And these habits are like 12 pillars that will support you on this journey to designing a purpose-driven life. And these are very simple, easy to understand, practical techniques and strategies that no matter where you are and what position in life you are, you can pick and easily apply in your life and get started on the journey. So what are you waiting for? Click the button and register for the course right now. The only investments that you will need to make is 100% dedication and commitment to your own personal growth. And by signing up for this masterclass, you have already shown that you have it in you. The second investment in terms of time, if you think you're too busy, all you need to do is take 20 minutes out in 1 week, which I don't think is a big investment in terms of time. We can always find those 20 minutes in an entire week. And in terms of money, the cost is so reasonable because I really want to take this message out and give it to as many people and reach out to as many people as possible. And so the costs are so reasonable that the per day costs would be less than the cost of a cup of tea, literally. So this is your chance to register for the course. And what's more is I'm also offering free coaching as an introductory offer. So each of you who will register for the course will get 2 hours of completely free coaching. So in case you have any questions, any doubts, anything that you're not able to do during the course or some point where you get stuck, you always have somebody with whom you can consult and get your questions answered. So register for the course and I will see you on the other side very soon. Wishing you all the very best and wishing you a very empowered and enriched life ahead. Thank you.